Good
Okay.
morning.
Good morning. Welcome everyone to a special edition of AM Glow. AM Glow, welcome Instagram and welcome all the other places where we're streaming on YouTube and everyone. Just welcome. Well, today's special because
It is.
why is
Yes.
today special? Today's special because it is
It
our
is our 22nd
22nd
wedding anniversary.
wedding anniversary.
Yeah. I'd like to say happy anniversary, sweetheart.
Happy anniversary to you too. Love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
It's been 22 years of God's grace.
Yes.
We usually it's almost 30 years that we've been friends, right?
Yes.
It'll be 30 years next year.
That's true.
It was 1994, right?
Happy match.
And then 2024 will be 30 years. But we got married in 2021. I mean, 2001. 2001. And here we are today. I can still remember that day when we were, going to, the place where we got married, to the house, and then to the church. I can still remember all those events. It seems like yesterday.
It really does seem like yesterday. I know when I tell people I've been married for 22 years, they're like, "You look 22. Are you sure you've been married for 22 years?" But we thank God for God's grace, because definitely the past 22 years have been a testament of God's grace. Not anything that we know how to do, because by all means, we don't have a perfect marriage.
No, not at all.
Definitely one thing that we have set out to do since the beginning of this marriage is to have a God-honoring marriage.
Yeah.
A godly marriage, a marriage that glorifies God.
Yeah.
Through all our imperfections.
Yeah.
So,
and that's why, every anniversary, we always want to give God thanks, because I remember the day we got married, and Daddy was walking you down the altar, and I stood at the front, and I don't want to say, was it fear? But I was just like, wow, you mean that from today, I'm going to have to take care of this, this lady? How am I going to do it? I was just a young man of 20s, maybe I was 27 going, or 26. I don't even remember, I was like, how am I going to do this? And 22 years later, I just want to thank God, for his help and faithfulness.
Yeah.
Just like you said, it's not been perfect. It's not a perfect story at all. By all means. But it's a blessed story.
I think we should really demystify that. The fact that, people think being married for so long means you have a perfect marriage, or, the appearance of what you see outside means the marriage is perfect. But I guarantee you, there is no perfect marriage.
Yeah.
There is no perfect marriage. It's just two imperfect individuals. And if you're believers with God in the center, living every day throughout the imperfections and
learning.
And learning and growing.
Yeah.
So we just want you to be encouraged that no matter what stage you are in life.
Yeah.
If you're married, if you're newlywed, if you're kind of in between the marriage cycle, if you're later in your years, you know what? Don't be discouraged, because if you stick through it with God, God's grace will always come through for you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing we've learned through all the different seasons of our marriage.
And I always tell people, don't get caught up with the pictures you see on Instagram.
Right.
And what you see on Facebook.
Yes.
And you start feeling bad about your own life, or about your own marriage.
I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I wish he did that.
Yes.
I wish, she did that.
Like you go and tell your spouse, can you see that person doing that? No, nobody posts the time of argument. I mean, have we ever posted our argument time?
No.
on Instagram.
I've never vented on Facebook or Instagram. In fact, there's sometimes that I thought, should I just go and post a question and just ask couples and poll them? What do you guys think about this situation? Because I really need someone to defend me right now.
Yeah,
But nobody does that. Yeah.
Nobody does that. So we just want you all to know that, just demystify the whole thing.
Yeah.
Marriage is made up of two imperfect individuals with God as their help.
Yeah.
Just learning along the way, forgiving along the way, and just growing along the way and getting better. But we do have a testimony.
We do.
You do have a testimony that, despite, all the different things and learnings, we have seen the blessing of God. We have seen the faithfulness of God, and we have learned lessons that we want to share today.
Yeah.
We're talking about resounding riches, right?
Yes.
This month.
Yes.
So we want to resound the blessing. We want to resound the lessons that we have learned, and hopefully it will encourage somebody.
Right. Because after all, our lives are supposed to resound the mercies of God, the grace of God, the riches of God.
Yeah.
God wants to use every aspect of our lives, including our relationships, our marriages, to give glory to his name. The devil wants it the other way around, right? He's out there to steal, kill, and destroy relationships and marriages, so that glory will not be brought to his name. Yeah. And that's why on our 22nd anniversary, we thought, we could take this time off and just, be with ourselves in our own world. Yeah. But why don't we use our marriage, our story, God's grace in our lives? Why don't we use that to glorify God? And also to, to share it with people so that they can be encouraged. Yeah.
Awesome. So this is going to be exciting. We're talking about 22 things that we have learned in 22 years of marriage. Yeah. So, what would you say is the number one lesson that we have learned, in marriage what would be number one? Yeah.
I guess the number one thing, I remember before we got married, you had this, I don't know how many keys,
scriptures.
You had done this extensive study on marriage, and you shared it with me. Definitely the foundation that we committed to is that God must be the center of the marriage, of our marriage. The Bible says that a threefold cord is not quickly broken. Yeah. A threefold strand. And when you look at a threefold strand, it's a strand that is woven together. It's intertwined. It cannot be easily separated. Yeah. If you're going to separate those three strands, you're going to have to take each one apart. Yeah. It's not as if the two are intertwined and then the one is apart. But this three strands are all together. Yeah. So when God is infused within a marriage, when God is the center, when he's the foundation of the marriage, when he's the one who directs, and he's the one who makes the final decisions in marriage and determines actions and determines direction. He's the one who has a final say, the first and final say. Yeah. Many times, it might be first because you might have argued your way around and then come back to him. When he has the final say, you can be sure that your marriage will thrive. So definitely God's presence.
Yeah, that it takes God. I think lesson about it takes God. Right. 22 years it took God, and it's just we can just look back and just see how that decision to make God the center has helped us through different seasons. Yes. Because many times in our own strength, we don't know what to do, but it comes through. That's right. We have faced challenges. We have faced, all kinds of stuff through the different seasons before we had children. When our children were babies, when they were toddlers, when they were, teenagers, and different family situations,
Yes.
ministry situations,
Yes.
just things that come, from our union. And God has been the mainstay. Just the ability to say, okay, let's go to the Bible. What does the word says? Even if we
Yeah.
deviated, to be able to go back and say, what is God saying? And him having the
right.
final say, and him being the one who rules over it all.
That's right.
So I would think that is
That's number one.
that's number one.
The Bible says there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother.
Yeah.
The thing is, in a marriage where God is present,
Yeah.
he never leaves. He
Yeah.
never ever leaves.
Yes.
And he's always there to guide. He's always there to comfort.
Yeah.
He's always there to reassure. He's always there to bring direction.
Yeah.
He's always there to provide.
Yeah.
God is our all sufficiency. He's the
Yes.
one that he can never be depleted. When there's seasons of life, when things are dry,
Yeah.
when things are, you can always drink of God. You can always drink of the source.
Yeah.
And he's the one who continues to restore,
Yeah.
rejuvenate
Yeah.
our marriage.
Yeah.
We've strived to put him at the center all the time.
Yeah.
In our decisions, even within the lives of our children, making that a foundation.
Yeah. Going to church is not an option in our family.
It's not an option. Yeah. We all do it together. We have, family devotions, which, helps to put that center into perspective.
Yeah.
And
we've not always kept that family devotion consistently.
I was going to say that there are seasons where, because of activities and everything, everyone would have gone.
Yeah.
Just like I think we had one maybe 2 Saturdays ago or something, or maybe last Saturday.
Yeah.
And before then, it had been a long while.
Yeah.
But then it always is. We always use that as a rally point.
The rally point.
And no matter what season of life, no matter how the business, no matter what the activities, let's come back.
Yeah.
To this altar, and let's recalibrate.
And it's just our family devotion is just it's a beautiful time where everybody goes and talks about their week, about their time, what's been going on with them. We praise God. We talk about challenges, and then we will look into the Word.
Right.
We'll praise God, dance, and then we will even some people, I don't want to mention their name, are reluctant to dance, but at least they'll start moving their head, and then we will pray and all that. It's just a centering time for the family. So that's number one. That lesson that we have learned, that it takes God, and we just want to give him all the glory. And for me, I would say the second lesson is this lesson of being versus doing. Being versus doing. So, I just discovered that there are so many things, to do. So we're called into the ministry. My wife, she works, she still works in corporate America. Yeah. I'm into business. I'm into all kinds of things, entrepreneurship and all that. And then even now, our kids, they are so busy.
Oh yeah.
And you could get to a point where all you are just working on is to-do list.
Yeah.
Like to-do list. These are the things that we need to do. And one of the lessons that I've learned is that when the whole of the relationship is based on what you need to do, you get to a point where everybody just gets tired and depleted.
Right.
But there's another part, which is the being part.
The being part.
So when I look back over the past 22 years, the memories that I have, they are not the memories of us doing ministry or all that. They are memories of times that we've traveled
together, we've just
laughed,
goofed around,
taking the time off, had fun, had vacations. Thank God for all the time that we decided that we're going to be going on vacation with the kids regularly. All those memories and birthday celebrations, just times of just sitting down and laughing and playing.
Right.
I would just like to encourage everyone, and that's what we're praying even for more as we're moving into this season, for more being
Yes.
versus doing.
Yeah.
I want to encourage everybody watching that
Yeah.
life goes on so fast.
Oh, yes.
Life goes on so fast. You don't want to miss the memories. You don't want to miss your kids growing up.
Yes.
You don't want to miss even you yourself growing up.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
because when we got married, you were 24.
Yeah.
And I was 26,
Yeah.
going on 27.
Right.
And look at all that season. If we are just, it's all about doing. There will be no memories. There will be no, like, life will not have quality.
Yeah.
So I've learned, one of the lessons that, we've learned from that is just to take time to be.
Yeah. I call it being present.
Yeah.
Being present. And being present doesn't necessarily mean a special event has to happen.
Yeah.
The opportunities of being present every single day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Being present with each other.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of the doing, having a time. I know, like, this last couple of weeks, it's been very busy for my husband because he's been working on a lot of projects.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's been hard, to be present,
mm-hmm.
But then after a while,
mm-hmm.
We recalibrate and come back together again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With the kids go out every day to school and all that. There are things that happen.
Yeah.
So even if both of us cannot be there, one of us, we make sure that we are at their concerts.
Yeah.
Make it out to some of their games,
soccer,
things that are really important to them. Because if there's something important, they'll come tell you.
They'll tell you.
And that is an opportunity, an invitation to say, I want you to be present with me in this situation.
Yeah.
So being intentional in making memories, that is so key. And not taking all these things for granted. We've not been perfect in it. For example, we've set goals many times that we're going to be eating at the dining table. Yeah. That is not a thing in our house. Everybody just kind of eats.
Yeah.
I can count it on my fingertips when we actually eat at the dining table.
Yeah.
It still continues to be a goal.
Yes.
But, we find, Sunday evenings in some seasons have been times that we will just, like, play games, laugh our hearts out, watch movies, just things that we all enjoy together. As the kids have grown up now, it's been a bit challenging to find things that they like, because they don't like watching movies. So, but we all enjoy games, like silly games, games that will just make everybody competitive.
Yeah, I'll play with Goldie and
Goldie. Goldie has been a rallying point to make us present because she will get your attention.
Yeah,
Goldie's our dog. Been a great addition to the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So, it's your turn. What do you think is number 3?
Oh, wow. I have a list here. I'll just pick one of them. Marriage is full of seasons and cycles. Learn to prayerfully discern the seasons and support each other through them. Break unhealthy cycles and maintain healthy ones. So, it definitely has been a journey, and it's been seasons of ups and downs, seasons where things were thriving, things were, tight, things were rough, happy seasons, joyful seasons, overflowing seasons, just different seasons like that. Just learning to know that comes with a package.
Yes.
And when such things happen, especially the dry seasons, not being discouraged, but to know that God is with you through every season.
Yeah, it's just like, what I was sharing one time about that they talk about the 7 rings of marriage. They're like seasons.
Yeah.
You start from engagement ring to the wedding ring, and then you get to the discovering season, discovering, where you just, start to discover more about the person you married.
Oh yeah.
That wow, I didn't used to live with this person.
Yeah.
But I'm learning this, and you will learn some things you like. You will learn some things you don't like. Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
I would say that the beginning of our marriage, was a lot of discovering. We
Yes.
actually thought we knew each other, but we did not
Yes.
know each other.
Even though we had been in a relationship for 5-6 years before then.
Right.
You know, yeah.
And even till now, we're still learning to know each other, because I know that, you know, for your marriage, to keep your marriage spicy, to keep it going, you have to always continue on that learning journey. And not assume that you know everything about your spouse. I know that I had assumed a lot of things, and boy, was I surprised. I was pleasantly surprised on some things, and some other things I was like, oh my God. You know, so, and I'm sure it's the same thing for him. But just knowing that, you know, whatever season that you're in, you know, those seasons are always temporary. They don't last. And the Bible says we should count it all joy in all seasons. So I think I take comfort in you know, after seeing all the different seasons we've gone through, to know that every season is temporary. Every season, it is not permanent. There was a season where we were moving, always, you know, moving from house to house. But thank God he gave us a resting place. So you know, there was another season when the kids were, you know, like always so active, very dependent on us. Now they're very independent, and then they've given us time.
There was a time they were running after us to catch up on us. Now we're running after them to catch up on them.
Exactly, to catch up on them. You know, there are seasons where I, as a mother, I felt like I did not have time on my hands. You know, I just felt like I was always giving, no me time. But now I'm
like, what do I do with the time that I have?
Well, not necessarily. I'm not there yet. I'm not retired. But I have more time to do some things, and actually me time. You know, so there are seasons, and you must learn to identify what season that you're in. And thrive in that season. The fact that you're in a hard season doesn't mean that you should not thrive. You know, there are ways to actually thrive and look for the opportunities that are in your season, and embrace it with joy.
Well, I would say number 4, you know, number 4 from my perspective will be the importance of having purpose. You know, in your relationship. I think if we did not have a central thing that from the very foundation that the whole thing is built upon, the mission, I think our experience will have been different. Like, we wouldn't have been, you know, as blessed as it is if we didn't have that purpose. So, you know, how did that work? So at the beginning, you know, we were praying. So what is really, why do people just get married? Is it to just have children? So we discovered that there are purposes in there. There's friendship, companionship, partnership. And we discovered that there's also the part of, you know, procreation and all that. But we also saw that even with all that, there's an overriding universal purpose. Which is that our marriage. We saw that from when Paul said that the marriage between a man and a woman is like a mystery that reflects Christ and the church. So meaning that there's a utility factor to our marriage for the church and for the world and for God. So we have always tried to pray and focus and look at that utility factor. Whenever, you know, as we've been, it's like you are in a bus, right? Or you are in a plane. That's how marriage is like. You always have to check your compass. You know, like you always have to check your GPS now. Like, you know, like, are we still heading towards true north? Or are we focused on something else? So that ability to be able to know what true north is, to be able to define what true north is throughout the season and redefine and define and hone. I think it has been a great lesson that we have learned.
For me, that is so key. That is so key. I mean, to our marriage, the fact that we have a common purpose. I think couples tend to start to grow apart when they don't have an intersecting purpose, you know, like commonality in a different area, because God brings you know, like individuals that are different, you know, together to complement each other. But then how powerful it is when you can unite around a common purpose. So it does not mean that each person will not maintain their own individuality, which we strive to do, because
Yeah.
we're both different. We enjoy so many. I mean, you guys, you don't even know how different we are. We're
Yeah.
so
We're so
different.
different.
I am well, when you talk of a personality type,
Mhm.
I'm very I'm choleric, which means very driven,
Mhm.
very goal oriented. I mean, not that he's not, but he is.
Yeah.
And you get to hear that I'm a doer.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of our major differences. I am like a doer. I'm a very active person,
Yeah.
while he is primarily an introvert.
A
So
thinker.
which means he's a thinker. He's very introspective. He's a dreamer.
Yeah.
A lot of things happens on the inside. So he's not necessarily someone who moves.
Yeah.
But in ministry, you guys see something different. Like
Yeah.
you see someone who is always moving. But when he's at home, he is stationary. He can be in one spot for 24 hours. That is totally opposite me. I am everywhere. So I think that's one of like our primary differences, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
But then we have purposes around which we unite.
Yeah.
We unite around a common purpose.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think in different seasons of life, there are things that we've learned to do together. We have couples prayer time,
Yes.
which also is not perfect.
Yeah. Mhm.
We've had
Yeah.
it and then stopped, and then we, come
Really.
back at other
Mhm.
seasons.
Yeah.
We have times where we just like come together and just share, like in the evenings.
Yeah.
He likes to
Mhm.
watch the news.
Yeah.
I don't like to watch the news.
Yes.
But I know that
I
if I want to
still
hang out,
wonder how somebody cannot watch the news.
if I want to hang out with
Can you
him,
not watch the news? Know what is happening in the world.
catch what his thoughts are, because I don't like bad news. I don't like anything that would depress my spirit.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch local news.
And in between, they have all this crazy ads about people, like having terminal diseases and all that. So that's why I don't like watching.
That's why you have the mute button.
Anyways, it's too much work for me. So anyways, I know if I want to catch his thoughts, if I want to know what is going on with him, then I'll sit down, watch the news. And I actually do enjoy some parts of the news when, they're actually having some intellectual discussions about what's going on. And so, we have some commonalities in that area.
Yeah.
Or, we just catch dinner together, and just sit down and talk around that. And then in ministry too. I think ministry brings us together on a lot of fronts. Partnership, supporting each other in a lot of the things that we do. Yeah.
And we have to communicate that purpose to our children too, so that they know. So we have to say, okay, this is what this family is about.
Yeah.
So like that removed all kinds of argument. Oh, it's time to go to church and serve.
Yeah.
You see, everybody, one is singing, one is in the tech, one is in that, because the family has a purpose that we constantly just, tell everyone that this is the reason why it all started in the first place, guys.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about. So I think that has been a great lesson that has helped us. Yeah. So it's your turn. Number 5.
Okay. This is hot. Don't try to change each other. Don't try to change your spouse. My God.
That is like a feeling. It's an enterprise that is bound to fail.
I had to graduate from the school of hard knocks. Come on. I entered our marriage, our relationship, just having this image of what I wanted my husband to do or to be. And for the first, I don't know how many years, I was trying to change him so bad. I'll comment on this, I'll comment on that, I'll make him want to do this, make him want to do that. I don't know at what year in our marriage you just like, I think you either snapped or you just like put your foot down and be like, lady, I am not going to subscribe to this anymore. I am done with it. And it wasn't until then that it was a rude awakening, because I actually did not know. I was trying to help him to be better. like what he wants, how he should dress, how he should say, like his manners outside, just so many things, and some petty things that don't even count right now that when I look back, I'm just like laughing, So it was a rude awakening for me, and I realized that I had been nagging all these years, and I just had to shut my mouth and just let him be.
And peace reign across the galaxy.
Just let him be the person that God created him to be, and actually enjoy him. Enjoy what I thought were imperfections. Enjoy, just enjoy and accept him for the way he is. And boy, was it more peaceful. Just learning to accept each other for who we are, and celebrating our differences, celebrating even the imperfections, laughing at it, and just having fun with it. And knowing that God gave you this other person for a reason, with all these things that you might necessarily not like. Not to even talk of pet peeves. I spent a lot, like the early years complaining about pet peeves. Oh my gosh. I think if we decide to talk about pet peeves, we probably will not finish this broadcast, but we all have pet peeves. There are things that he cannot stand. There are things that I cannot stand, But guess what? At some point, we just got tired. We just got tired. And I'm like, if I have to do this for the rest of our marriage, I'm going to do it. And I will do it thanking God. Thanking God. There's the common one about the toothpaste. Guess how I resolved the toothpaste issue? I make sure we have two toothpaste. So he has his toothpaste. I have my own toothpaste.
I squeeze my own toothpaste the way I want to squeeze it.
My toothpaste.
And there's peace.
The way I like it squeezed, which is from the bottom up. And I don't even bother to touch it because,
there's so much peace with having two toothpaste at once. I can decide to do it from anywhere. I was cool. I love what Melissa is saying. She said that most women try to change their husband. But men too. I try to change you in some ways too.
Oh yeah.
It's just that I am not. I think personally my temperament is more of live and let live. Only maybe in certain areas like ministry, and all that, like principle, that but generally, just live and, but I also I try to, but we've learned the lesson that you can never, it's a failing endeavor.
Right. You
can never ever change the person. Only God can change people.
Oh yeah. And guess who I talk to now?
Yes.
God. And some things God will tell me, you know what? Just leave that one alone.
Yes.
He will give you wisdom. And he will even tell you to thank him for it and change your perspective. Sometimes or many times what we just need to do is to take our eyes off that little thing, right, that is nagging us, and look at the 100 other beautiful things.
That's one thing
that
we learn.
Be celebrated in our marriage.
Yeah, like the Pareto principle, 80-20 principle. That's the thing. Like, instead of focusing on 20% that is bothering you, why don't you focus on the 80% that is right? And when you focus on that 80%, personally, when I read something somewhere in our marriage about a man that kept on writing good stuff.
Right.
Sound like like thankful stuff about the wife for a year. They were about to divorce and just started writing, and then the wife saw it. Wow. And then the wife started doing it, and that's what saved their marriage. So I learned it that time. So I always do this appreciation thing. And all the appreciation, I will list everything, every good thing. Just count those good things and just give God praise. Right. Just give God praise for it. And I think that began to change our perspective, Yeah. I love what Pastor Emily is saying on Instagram. She said, God told me to look not at the plant, to look at the plank in my own eye. Yeah. That's just it. Yeah. So so that was a big lesson. Now for number 6 from me, we learned that marriage will go through internal and external pressures.
Yeah.
But you can handle the internal pressure better if you are able to deal with the external pressures.
Yeah.
So
that's step one of dealing with pressures. Make sure that there's no external interference.
yes, yeah. So basically, what external pressure, there's a kind of separation that is required,
Right.
that we have learned that is required for a marriage to thrive. Like you have to have a personal place.
Yeah.
You understand? A place where you know that you both are in charge of the decisions.
Yeah.
You know that you are, like, you can be yourselves.
Right.
And some of the external pressure, I tell you, that it first starts with children.
Yeah.
Right. When children come into a marriage, like when our kids were younger, right? First of all, you have to take care of them as a mother. You have to do so many things and all that. They will come into that space a little bit.
Right.
So we had to learn, understand, how do you balance that? And then there are also people that love you too.
Right.
You understand, family members and all that.
And emotionally invested in you.
Emotionally invested in you.
Yep.
Right. And then there is what the other external, even our friends, even other people on the outside, that there will always be something that wants to come in. And we have let some of those things. We have, for example, we had to have host people in our house and do all that. And those things, even though we're doing them as ministry and all that, but those things have some impact on on that separation. So we have had to learn to manage that, not to isolate ourselves, right? But to balance that, you understand, that thing, of just to try and remove external pressures. And I mean, maybe you have some example of some of the ways that we have done that.
Well, I mean, first of all, is laying that ground rule, right? Laying the ground rule that, after God, the next priority is both of us, right? Because after all, a threefold cord cannot be broken. So, we have to make sure that is intact. So anything that interferes with that cord, we need to address it. And we
have to prioritize ourselves.
Right. There are times where we've had to sit down and have discussions. We had to have discussions about it, to make sure that we're recalibrating. So, I mean, we would advise you couples, just like we have done, to always be transparent in that area. If you feel like something is, interfering with your marriage, with your intimacy, with, just with your unity as a couple, definitely have sit downs about it. Don't let things pile up and explode. Whoever it is, because it's not just women that let things pile up in them. Men also let things pile up.
I let things.
Depends on your personality, right? If you're an
even for men, sometimes it's harder for us to to open up and talk about those things.
And so I mean, of course, but do it in a respectful way, but be transparent about it. If something is impacting unit, even ministry can interfere. You're doing good to people, you're serving people, but then there are things that just come between that sense of unity. Always make sure that you're not on the same page. And that happens
that you're on the same page.
Sorry, that you are on the same page. Always make sure that you're on the same page, and you can usually tell by conversations, by responses, like maybe one person is quiet. You're saying something, one person is quiet, be sensitive and listen. Just to make sure that, you guys are still moving in the same direction. And external pressure, basically, we made it known to our families that, when it comes to discussions, don't lift one person above another. In fact, if it's on my side of the family, I'll say, go talk to my husband. If it's on his side of the family, I'll say, he will say, go talk to my wife. So that way, they see you as one unit. One unit. And we're always quick to we're always quick to interject if there's external pressure coming and saying, oh, you know what, we are one unit. So making that known to each other. And then there are things that are not people, which are just like things, pressures. There's finances, there is all kinds of pressures.
Ministry,
there's other
jobs.
relationships, there's just pressures of life. There's emotional things to deal with. There are all kinds of pressures that come. But when those pressures come, there needs to be a sit down. Of course, after talking about it with God and everything, be transparent with each other and walk through it. Right?
Yes. Your turn. 7.
My turn.
Is this 7, number 7? I'm not even counting. I don't know if we're going to get to 22 today, the way we're going.
I don't think
we'll
so.
probably have to continue on Monday. Okay.
So I have here that, oh, wow. Never assume that you know everything about your spouse. Marriage is the only university that you never graduate from. Make it a lifelong learning and discovery of your spouse. Be willing to ask questions to confirm that what you know is still true.
Wow.
People continually change. Tastes, dislikes, likes, pet peeves, preferences. So never assume that what you knew like 10 years ago or even yesterday when it pertains to women. Because women are always going through all kinds of cycles and emotions and all that. Never assume that what you know is still true. Like I asked my wife and she said she likes flowers. So you just assume that she likes flowers all the time and you just inundate her with flowers.
I use this style to talk to me.
And she's praying.
I use this style to tell me.
Can he just stop?
Can I stop this flower?
So that's not what I need at the moment. I just need some quality time.
Okay, she's trying to say something in that place. She's using Instagram, Facebook to make an announcement.
So what have you learned? What have you learned?
Well, I learned that my wife will not always like long hair.
Was that a rude awakening or what? Because that one I did not hear the last of it. When I went low in my cut, in fact, I had it like shaved on the sides and all that. Oh my gosh!
I was like, "What is this?" I like to play with hair,
and that's why I left one huge chunk for you to play with in front. But that didn't seem like enough.
But there was a lesson that I also learned from that. So after I talked about it, I said, I like long hair. That after a while we had a discussion. I just decided that what, we're changing. She's changing. There's a reason why she's doing that and all. And I just began to like it. After a while, I began to like it, but at the beginning, it wasn't good. I like to
my
pull.
Hair. There's nothing on the sides. It's all skin.
So we change through different seasons, of life. So don't assume Don't assume
Right.
Don't assume So so number 8, that will be my turn. The next lesson is there are many roles that we have. That we have to play in marriage. Many roles, and for each marriage, there's no cut and dry way of handling those roles. Maybe not just roles, but even different things, money and all. There's no cut and dry way of handling it. Each couple has to work out what works for them. What works for one couple that may not work for the other couple. So over the years, we've had to calibrate so many things. There was a time that I was the diaper person because you were in the you had to go to walk.
I actually don't remember that.
Ah, man, I remember
That you
it, man.
actually changed a diaper
I remember
in
it.
my mind.
You see, that's another lesson from marriage, you know.
Yeah, change diapers. Mommy was around.
No, when mommy left, when
Okay.
mommy left, and all those times that were Zion and all that, and you went to walk. I was with the
Wow,
kids.
so you actually changed diapers.
Oh yes,
So you
plenty
just
of
caught some
diapers.
needles in my head.
Plenty of diapers, So there was that time I had to take care of Jesse. Josh have 2 kids, right? Pick him from Mrs. Charles.
That's right.
And all that.
That's right.
And then they started going to some school. I have to leave work and go there.
Yeah.
And then there are times when the roles changed. You understand?
Right.
And you had to do more of that. And then that's just in the children, but in other areas too, right?
Yeah.
In area of when we first got into marriage too, there was time that you were hearing a big chunk of the financial stuff because
Right.
I just came to the US establishing the ministry,
Yeah.
and then there came a point in time when that equalized and
Yeah.
different seasons and different roles. I have learned
Right.
it that don't just say because this is how this couple is doing it,
Yeah,
or because that's how
sounds
this
good.
couple is doing it. That's how it has to be for you.
Yeah.
Find out your own rhythm.
Right.
Find out your own sweet spot.
Yeah.
What works for you? Seek for counsel, right?
Yeah.
There's different seasons, different shifts, different people, different strokes for different people.
Yeah.
Just make sure that it works for both of you.
Right. And we talked about different seasons. So there are also strengths, right?
Yes.
Accompanying with those roles, there are strengths
Yeah.
that each partner has.
Yeah. Mhm.
Don't make your partner
Yeah.
get into something that they don't like to do just because they don't have the strength for it.
Yeah.
In some marriages, husbands are the ones that cook.
Yeah.
In
Mhm.
our marriage, he doesn't like to cook. So no matter how much I admire marriages that husbands cook, I know that in my marriage, my husband doesn't like to cook.
Yep.
So guess what? For the first couple of years, and trust me, I am a graduate from the School of Hard Knocks. There's so many things like in early years of marriage that I used to fuss about. I used to mow, I used to just mope around. I used to, complain. I used to be sad, that my husband won't come and help me in the kitchen, that I'm by myself, that I enjoy cooking, if somebody was there. But no matter how much I griped, and it just did not happen.
Can you add shopping to it too?
Actually, you know what? I have to give him some kudos because maybe one house ago, I think it was actually during the pandemic. Yeah. You actually did start cooking. It
was
coronavirus
induced.
it was like cooking though.
It was a coronavirus induced temporary, cooking.
Right. That you used to make like this omelette, like with all kinds of veggies, and his omelette, oh man, it's so something good to live for, like layers and layers.
It's one of my untapped gift and used gift because my mom is a cook. She taught me how to cook. I used to cook for when we were going out.
How to cook?
Yes,
but anyway, still this time when the anointing comes on him, if he actually makes an omelette, like it's great.
Yeah.
So, anyways. But what will I do? Would I continue to fuss that, that's not his strength, but he's great at other things.
Yeah.
He's great at other things. He can write like words. He's a wordsmith. He can write poems, that will just make you get slayed under the anointing. He's a visionary. He's a planner, he's very good at some other things.
Yeah.
He manages the house well when it comes to like the structural things of the house, the way things are working, the heavy duty, the heavy stuff that I don't even want to be bothered about. He is excellent at doing that. So why would I fuss about, that when he's great at doing other things? He's a great father. He's an excellent father. When it comes to, like looking into the future and planning for the kids and making sure that they're moving forward and setting goals and, in their present season, like college things and, just things that I don't want to, that's his strength. So I would encourage him in that rather than griping about those other things that are not his strength.
Yeah.
So identifying your roles
and
lifting each other and supporting each other in those roles.
Yep. Awesome. I think it's number 9, right? Number 9. It is you.
It's me?
That was mine. Yes.
Well, mine was don't try to change each other.
And then mine was the roles.
Oh, okay.
So you're next now.
All right. All right. So let's see. Prioritize time spent with each other. Yeah, prioritize time spent with each other. Why are you so good at scheduling time with every Tom, Dick, and Harry? And putting them on your calendar. Why? While no time is on your schedule for the most important human relationship in your life.
Okay.
You may say, I see him or her every day. I sleep on the same bed with them, but that's actually taking them for granted.
Yeah.
A marriage that will thrive must have consistent, special times set apart for the two of you that no one or anything should interrupt.
Yeah. Very good. And you have to, and that special time is important. And we have had different special time. We have had some interesting experiences.
We really tried.
we tried all kinds. When we will meet for dating and we'll be looking at each other. Like I remember, those days that we used to have during break time in those days. We'll go to different places.
I honestly don't know what was going on then. I don't know for some reason. So I think the first 10 years of our marriage, I was just very, I didn't really know how to express myself or, I had a lot of words in me or whatever, but when it came to talking and when it came to just opening up, I think I just didn't know how to open up. I don't know, maybe it's because
your temperament,
maybe my temperament or I don't know what it was, but for a long time, I was still trying to discover myself. I actually had to learn myself. I had to learn my preferences. I had to learn what I like. I had to know myself to be able to enjoy quality time with him, because we'll just get together and we'll just be looking at each other. And then it came to a time where I think I'll be asking questions.
Yes,
feeling like
one time I told him, I said that was not. I told her, I said that was early part when we met. I said, man, that was not it. That was an interrogation. It was like the CIA. It was like I just faced the FBI and the CIA.
What was I asking you about?
I don't even remember. But I just remember the trauma of it.
Another thing is because he's introverted, right? He doesn't like to talk that much, right? He doesn't like to talk that much. And a way of me getting him to talk is by asking him questions. So guess what? I was just asking questions.
And I felt like I was in the FBI room.
Questions were like forced, like forced questions,
but
anyways.
We found our rhythm and we're still finding it that, sometimes we just want to be. Not even talk. Like sometimes we just be on the couch and just be there. Like we just want to be, and then we've learned to do different things. Sometimes take a dog on a walk.
He wants to be more than I do.
Yes. She wants to do. She wants to do something. I want to be something. To just be somewhere. So we're trying to learn to merge both doing and being. Together. So So I think with that's number 9, right? Number 10. I think we should stop for today for number 10. Okay. I will continue on Monday. Yeah. So I would say number 10 thing that I have learned, that I feel so many lessons that I would say when it comes to this is the lesson on love, love in marriage is multifaceted. And it also goes through different seasons. But there is a kind of love that is through all the seasons. So basically, like emotional love goes through seasons. There are seasons when you are very like like what do you call it?
There's seasons when you can't stand each other. Let's
can't-
just say
Yes.
it's real. Like, I just want to go to my own corner, or I want
Yeah.
to go on a vacation from you right now. okay?
Yes. You know.
And then there are seasons where you can't just
Mm.
be out of each other's sight.
Yes.
You know, you just
Mhm.
want to be with each other
Yeah.
all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
You know?
So there are different ebbs and flow of
Yeah.
the passion, of the emotions,
Yeah.
you know, and all that, right? But
Right.
there's something else that undergirds it all, which is that agape love.
Yes.
The lesson that we have learned is that no matter what, if it's unconditional love,
Yeah.
unconditional love,
Yeah.
unconditional love, like
Yeah.
always return to that unconditional love.
Yeah.
And then, as you know, the unconditional love is there. You
Right.
find there are things you could do. You deal with the central thing, right?
Mhm.
But there are things you do to fan the flame of the emotional love
Mm.
and all that. So that's a lesson that that I have learned, that over time you have to do things to fan that flame, to constantly fan the flame. Otherwise, it will go down.
Yeah.
Right, you have to keep lighting the fire. You have to keep doing different things to light the fire. And over the last 22 years, that's one of the lessons that we've learned.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, something just came to my mind. Like, we used to argue a lot.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere in between, it just dawned on both of us that I think we're both tired of
We
arguing.
can't win an argument. So
We're both tired of arguing. So we just stopped. We just stopped. And that's how arguments just stopped. I mean, it's not as if we don't have like differing opinions that we express to each other now.
Mhm.
But it is amazing to see how the years and how maturity and how love has
Yeah.
come in a matured way.
Mhm.
You know, when you talk of love maturing,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? When you talk of matured love, Bible says love does not insist on its own way
Yes. Mhm.
or its own rights.
Yeah.
You know, 1 Corinthians 13 has been our go-to,
Yeah.
where we will both individually meditate on, confess it to ourselves,
Yeah.
and make that our reality.
Yeah.
You know, to the point now that I can say that our love has definitely matured and
Yeah.
it's still maturing.
Maturing. Yeah.
You know, we're not in that like, I mean, we still have, erotic love or whatever, but that's not what drives
Yeah.
a marriage.
Mhm.
What drives a marriage is
Deeper.
agape.
Mhm.
It's a deeply rooted love, which is based on commitment,
Yeah.
which is based on the principles of 1 Corinthians 13,
Yeah.
which is based on God Himself being love.
Yeah.
You know, and when that is your experience, you find that a lot of things,
Mhm.
a lot of things, through the ebbs and flows, through the
Yeah.
changes, through the changing seasons, and through, just whatever it is that happens,
Yeah.
that agape love has its way of centering
Yeah.
your day, centering your interactions,
Mhm.
centering your conversations,
Yeah.
centering just everything, your family.
Yeah.
Love has a way of just bringing everything back to center.
Yeah. Very good. I think we should do half of 11. I think we're on point number, since it's 22, so we'll do the remaining 11 on Monday. So
you got one then. You
Yeah.
must have one. Yeah, there are many.
there are many. We're just speaking from. We could go 30, like, or 20, or 50, right? So just picking, the ones that we want to prioritize. So I would say that another big lesson when it comes to that we've learned over the last 22 years, it flows from what you were talking about, that it just got to a point where just say you can't win an argument.
Yeah.
So, and that is this lesson of it is better to complement than to compete.
Yeah.
It's better to complement one another,
Right.
than to compete with one another.
Yeah.
So, like you discover that in marriage, if you are not careful, some competition might want to click in. We've never really gone like we're competing with each other like that. But certain times, certain seasons, like, oh, is that your thing or is that my thing? Do you get what I'm saying? Is that your thing and that my thing? We always have to define it that, well, if it is, first of all, it's our thing.
It's our thing.
It's our thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's unity. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say. We learned that it is our house.
Right.
It is our car.
Right.
Right. It is our family.
Yeah.
Our extended family. So both on both sides.
Yeah.
This is, they are they are just our parents.
Right.
It is our, what do you call it? Our calling. It's our finances.
Yeah.
Like we had to learn that vocabulary of our,
right.
It's our ministry. Yes.
Yeah.
To learn the vocabulary of our, and then to deliberately now say that even though we have our, right, but even within it, there is some mind in there to try individuality to now try to support that individuality, right. And to be there for one another. Right. So if we're doing stuff that came originally from me, the way you've always supported, and when you're doing things like I Shine and all that I will be there, or just stop everything, or treasure choir and all that. So just learning that complementation and supporting one another works better than competing. Find common ground.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And you've been, such a great complimenter.
Thank you.
You've been such a great, I would say that I learned from you. The way I see you support me in the things that I do, just makes me want to just give everything and just support you in everything that you do. So that we do.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. I hope you all have been blessed. This is 11. We've talked about 11 today, but we know people have things to do. So we don't want to take all your time.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on Monday, at the same time to finish the last 11 of the 22 things that we have learned in 22 years of marriage. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for all the comments that we're reading, all the comments on Facebook.
Yeah, thank you so much
Instagram,
for all the wishes and prayers.
Yeah. Keep praying for us. Our prayer is that our lives will continue to honor, glorify God, and also be a blessing to even more people. Yeah, thank you, Lydia. I've been so blessed on YouTube. Thank you. So follow, exciting and enlightening. Oh, awesome. Praise God. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you, Okwe, for that. I see that.
All right. And we pray blessings on your relationships to those who are in different seasons of marriage, whether you're newlywed, whether you're halfway through, whether you're looking to God for a godly spouse, whatever season, whether you're widowed, whatever season of life that you're in, we pray multiplied grace. That the same God who has graced our marriage will multiply that grace upon your life.
I remember what we said at the beginning. Be.
Right.
Just be. Whatever stage you are.
Yes.
And just learn to be. Learn to be present. Learn to look around and appreciate what you have.
Yes.
Don't look on Instagram. Don't look on all this stuff. Just look around you. There's always, if it's your dog, just appreciate the loyalty of the dog and the friendship. If it's, the house you are in, just make sure that you live in that appreciative being. Appreciate present. God in your life. Be present in the moment, because that moment is going to go away, right? It's going to go away so soon, and you're going to be looking, but it's going to be in the past, and you can never regain it back.
Right.
So, don't wait for one future where things are going to be better. Now learn to enjoy the now. No matter what now is presenting to you, learn to just enjoy it. Learn to bless God for the moment. Learn to enjoy the treasures of the moment.
There's something that I usually say, that your now is pregnant with your destined future, the future that God has for you. So what you do in the now is going to determine your future. So guess what? Put all the power, all the positivity, all the faith, all the hope, all the love into your now. And then you can trust that your future is going to turn out as God desires it.
You see, the issue we usually have is our ego. They said that the troubles that we go through in life, the pains we go through in life, is our ego trying to survive. Like that ego, that part of us that's always thinking, this could be better, or that could be, and it's always judging ourselves and judging others and judging things negatively. How do you break the ego? step into a life of appreciation and praise.
Yep.
Right? Just be grateful.
Yep.
Be grateful for what you have. Be
Yes.
grateful for your spouse.
Yes.
Right? Be grateful for, like we said, look for the 80% of the things that person has.
Yeah.
Rather than focusing on the 20%
Yeah.
that you don't have and that will be troubling you.
Yes.
Look around at the blessing of God and just keep thanking God for that. Keep thanking God for that.
Mm-hmm.
We got to live life. We can't just be going through life asleep.
No.
And not awake.
Yeah.
Right? Trying to think of one future, thinking of one, you could be buried in this and that.
Every day is a gift.
Every day is a gift.
Every day. And you just got to unwrap it. You unwrap it with appreciation.
With appreciation.
Yes.
Yeah. What will happen if when people get to know, you understand, when they get to know what they have missed, it's if that person just goes. That's when you will know that, wow, I focus all the time on what the person does not have. I never knew this big hole will be there because the person is gone.
Right.
Let's learn to enjoy the moment and thank God. And every year it will be sustained. You know, I would like to leave something with you guys. One of the things that we have tried to do every year is to celebrate the covenant.
Yeah.
At least like this anniversary.
Right.
We always like do something. You know, our kids grew up to say just to celebrate and to thank God for it.
Yes.
So I think celebrating milestones is very important. Wherever you are celebrating, thank God for that 1 year, for that 3 months, for that 4 months. You know, just thank God and just keep doing that. Whatever you celebrate will appreciate.
That's right.
So God bless you all. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Muiwa, Maya.
Thank you so much.
Everyone, Pastor Emily, Pastor Olu. Thank you for posting everything. Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube. We love you.
Love you all. Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to sign off today. We will see you. We will see you again on Monday on AM Glow. Please share the video, like and subscribe. Share, like, subscribe.